Before advances in medical technology, doctors had to rely on their senses to diagnose disease. They'd have felt for a pulse, they'd have smelt for certain conditions, and they'd have looked for telltale signs of trouble. Now, though, medics in modern accident and emergency departments rely on machines, scans and tests to diagnose illness. Technology has advanced so much that diagnosis by the senses has become a bit of a dying art. But a 21st century twist involving space science is putting those basics right back at the heart of patient care. In A&E at Leicester Royal Infirmary, a new sick bay is being developed, and it's based on a doctor's senses. Tim Coates is Professor of Emergency Medicine. So what are you trying to achieve?
We've got great ways of making a diagnosis, but that often involves sticking needles into the patient or using X-rays for CT scans and so forth. These are sometimes uncomfortable for the patient, and sometimes the results take hours or even days to get back to us.
To speed up diagnosis, Tim has taken inspiration from science fiction to create these, a mix of state-of-the-art machines, all designed to identify illnesses based on sight, smell and touch.
So if you think of the sick bay in Star Trek, there the patient got scanned by a whole range of non-invasive monitors and a diagnosis was instantly made.
To turn sci-fi into science fact, Tim looked towards real-life space research. Professor Mark Sims is a planetary scientist. The tools he uses to look at other planets were exactly what Tim and his team were looking for to help create their electronic doctor.
My day job is looking for life on Mars. I'm trying to apply the technologies I work with to medical diagnosis.
Hyperspectral imaging is used by NASA to study Mars. It picks up wavelengths of light the human eye can't see. Mark transformed this technology into a machine that will help doctors spot diseases the human eye would miss. Light wavelengths can be surprisingly useful in a number of treatments. They can even help find a patient's veins. That's incredible. What a fantastic tool for helping doctors find a vein to put a drip up. And different wavelengths of light can reveal other things too.
We potentially can detect yellowing due to kidney and liver disease, potentially skin cancers.
Skin cancer can take several days and an operation to diagnose. Hyperspectral imaging might do it in an hour. Another part of the sick bay could speed up the diagnosis of sepsis, a potentially fatal blood infection that restricts blood flow to parts of the body.
To simulate the effect of withdrawal circulation from the extremities, we're using a blood pressure cuff.
If blood isn't circulating properly, as happens in sepsis, the limbs will cool. By using a cuff to restrict blood flow to the arm, Mark shows me how they can see the temperature drop in the hand thanks to a thermal imaging camera. So this camera can pick up the changes in blood flow associated with sepsis long before I could as a doctor.
Absolutely correct.
Sepsis can take hours to diagnose, but this could diagnose it in minutes.
In your left hand,
For smell, the doctor's nose is replaced by a breath analysis machine. If high amounts of indicators like acetone are coming from the lungs, it can highlight serious disease.
In the blue line you see a healthy subject, and in the red line you actually see a diabetic, and you have a much higher level of acetone. So with a single breath you can actually tell whether somebody is diabetic.
Taken as a whole, this diagnostic unit brings us one giant leap closer to the Star Trek sickbay, and extensive tests will build up a database of conditions that the machines will learn to recognise. Within 5 years, diagnostic units like this one could be fitted in A&E departments across the UK. It's hoped that in the future, this whole system can be miniaturised into a small handheld scanner.
If we can get early diagnosis in the big killers like sepsis and infection, this is going to help patients and save lives.